Asia has always been very important for US foreign policy. Given the China growing influence in this region, US is trying the best to contain China and convince countries in Asia that US is still a superpower that they can rely on. And President Joe Biden just visited South Korea and Japan, the closest US allies in Asia. What are the significance of this visit and what role can we expect from US in Asia? Let's find out with our guest today, Associate Professor Dr. Papi Apichatskon, Vice President of the American Study Association in Thailand. Welcome, Dr. Papi, to our program ครับสวัสดีครับ First of all, let me ask you, President Joe Biden just visited Japan and South Korea. Do you consider this trip to be a formality? And what kind of concrete result can we expect from this trip?
Before I start my conversation, I understand that this is a talk style program, but I'm going to adopt a little bit more of a lecture style to answer your question more clearly.
Okay.
For answering your first question, I would like to explain the Indo-Pacific strategy first, which is the main strategy in U.S. foreign policy now. And you will understand why Asian and ASEAN countries are very important for the United States. Okay, let me show you the picture of the Indo-Pacific regions that we are talking about. Okay, from this picture, you can see that so from this picture, you can see that in this region, it includes two countries from South Pacific.
Yes.
That is Australia and New Zealand here. And it also includes the country in East Asia like Japan and South Korea and 10 ASEAN countries. So the United States want to pursue their alliance with the Indo-Pacific region because of these 5 main points. Okay, I will show you. Which are free and open, connected, prosperous, secure, and resilient. Let me back to the question. So the questions to answer the question, you can see the United States is following that strategy here, and not only on this visit. Before this last year, if you remember last year at the Summit for Democracy, or even the ASEAN Special Summit on May 12 and 13.
Yeah, just recently.
Yes. Also, example which show that the United States needs alliance in other regions. Although they did not say that the United States want to contain China directly. This shows that the United States is trying to build collective alliance to deal with this challenge to China too. Okay, the Biden trip to Japan and South Korea is an attempt to reassure the strength of his allies. The United States expected to deepen and broaden the scope of economic and security cooperation with South Korea and Japan.
Okay, and we know that Japan and South Korea are the closest U.S. ally in Asia, and both countries just have a newly appointed leader. Japan have a new prime minister, and South Korea just have the new president. Do you think that these two leaders going to have a closer relationship with U.S. or will U.S. have to restart any new collaborations?
Okay. Yes, this is a good opportunity for United States to continue the development of this relationship with South Korea and Japan. You can see that South Korea needs a stronger military regional security because of North Korean missile test launch and potential nuclear tests. This tension is the main concern between the United States and South Korea. Back to Trump administration, the two countries had an agreement and used to talk about the problem of South Korea weapon program. but nothing progressed with this during the pandemic times. So now is a good time for South Korea and United States to talk about security cooperation once again. This is also a good chance for the United States to come back to Asia. For Japan, at the official meeting in Tokyo, the main point was that the United States and Japan want to have a close alliance and share commitment to peace and stability. Because of growing threat from China, United States, Japan do need to deepen their military cooperation. And for me, I think that the United States and Japan and also South Korea, they also have they also share common interests in the Indo-Pacific region in the area of economic, military, and security.
Okay, and what do you think are the key objective of US for this visit?
Okay, let me show you this picture. Okay, from this picture, this is the key U.S. objective of the Asia visit. So you can see that this is the main reason. The main reasons are the relationship building. From the reason of relationship building, um, this first point is United States need to build relationship and deepen their trust because
Okay,
South Korea and Japan just have new leaders. It's important for the United States to start building and strengthen their relationship. Okay, the second one is security alliance. So the main security priority in the case of Korea is the threat of ICBM or nuclear test from North Korea. With the objective of this visit, the United States need to strengthen their um, and engage their Korean alliance to counteract the action of North Korea. For Japan, United States need to reinforce Japan defense capabilities because of the spread of influence of China in Asia. They consider that Japan should be their closest ally, with focus on security and national defense.
okay,
And the last reason, economic cooperation. At the same time, in Japan, you can see that Biden launched the Indo-Pacific Economic Framework, also we call it IPEF, which is a key initiative for economic engagement. This is intended as a way to compete with China with an increasing economic and political influence in the region. Leaders started talking about IPEF with their focus on the integration of Indo-Pacific economy too.
okay. And so the security and economy is the main concern for US. But recently, China has gained a very big influence in Asia, both economic and political influence. How do you think the US should deal with China growing influence? Or is it a little too late for US to contain China right now?
In recent times, under President Biden, the United States will deal with China with the Indo-Pacific strategy, which is meant to compete with and to contain the growing influence of China in this region. But the strategy, for me, I think it's very vague and lack in specific details about how the Biden administration and their alliance will deal with China. Also, as for the part of economic cooperation that mentioned in the Indo-Pacific strategy, it lacks substance, has no real policy, and has a lack of a concrete roadmap. For
Okay,
me, the the 4 years of Donald Trump administration mean that United States was absent from this region. So I think it's a little bit late because or because China already offer ASEAN country collaboration through their strategies One Belt and Road Initiative. I give you an example. The latest example in the meeting of U.S. and ASEAN, it's a special meeting, show that 150 million dollar promised by the United States to ASEAN, right? It's quite
Yes.
it's quite small compared to past amount and somewhat late compared to China past amount for 1.5 billion.
Yeah, it's like 10
So
times different.
yeah, so later this will take more energy for the United States to come back to this region.
Okay, but we also see that United States also trying their best to show country in Asia that it's still a superpower that country in Asia can still rely on if they ever need help. And let me ask you, do you think that there is any other reason behind President Biden's decision to visit South Korea and Japan during this time? Do you think that there is any military agenda?
Okay. I agree that the main purpose of this visit is the United States needs to seek security alliance, which is the first priority, and that they try to use economic tools to get closer to their countries.
Okay.
Mhm.
And security is the main concern. And in Asia, we have conflict between North Korea and South Korea. We also have conflict between China and Taiwan. And a lot of people are concerning that uh, after Russia invaded Ukraine, that maybe China might do the same thing to Taiwan. If China really invade Taiwan, what do you think US will do to stop China and how?
Okay, actually, the relationship between United States and China is based upon the One China policy. I think many people used to hear about that policy, which means there is only one Chinese government, which is a relationship the United States must respect. Okay, at the same time, the United States and Taiwan, they still remain um, informal relations through trade, cultures, and also remain Taiwan most important security ally. Um, the United States passed the Taiwan Relation Act, which guarantees that the United States will support Taiwan and help it defend itself. Okay, uh, listen to me carefully. It's like it's just help Taiwan to defend itself, but
Yes.
it does not mean require the United States to use the military if China invades. Okay, for in my opinion, although Biden said at a conference in Tokyo, right, they will that he was willing to take action to defend Taiwan if China invades. Um, United States, I think the United States had to consider again. Don't forget that the United States can benefit in economy from having good relation with China.
Yes. So you think that US will take Taiwan matter very carefully about what it's going to do because it's going to bring a lot of
Affect that.
conflict with China.
Yes.
Okay, and what about the economic concern? Can you explain what is the Indo-Pacific economic framework?
Okay, so let me show you a picture. Okay, uh, the Indo-Pacific Economic Framework is a framework launched by United States for the alliance to engage in economic and trade matter in the region, but but keep in mind that this is not like a kind of free trade agreement. It's no commitment. Okay, so here in the picture I show you there are 13 countries who join this framework. As you can see from the photo, as you can see, this is like a first 13 country of IPEF.
So IPEF stands for Indo-Pacific Economic Forum.
Yeah, we call it Indo-Pacific Economic Framework. It's just a framework.
Okay.
So that I told you that it's a framework, but it's not an agreement at all. Okay. So I will show you again in this photo that in this framework, focus on a 4 pillar. Okay, 4 pillar is the first one. It's connected economy. It means the higher standards and rules for digital trade, such as the cross-border data flow, resilient economy, resilient supply chains that will withstand unexpected disruption like the pandemic, clean economy, targeting green energy commitments and projects, fair economy, implement fair trade, including rules targeting corruption and effective taxation. But anyway, it's important for Thailand to look outward for more economic cooperation and not to miss this economic opportunity. This economic framework also, yes, it still lacks specific detail. So I think we must wait and see what the benefit will be.
Okay. So my last question, do you think it's important for country in Asia like Thailand to balance their relationship between China and United States?
Yeah, sure. Actually, I can say that we cannot be like neutral, but actually we should balance. We should have a good relations with China and also good relation with United States at the same time. I think our position should be like that.
Okay. So thank you, Ajahn Papi, for talking with us today. So we understand a lot more about what is US trying to do in Asia and trying to contain the influence of China. And we expect that Thailand will keep a good balance between these two countries. Thank you,
Okay.
Dr. Papi.
Okay, thank you, and thank you very kindly for having me today. It has been a great pleasure to join you and speak about this topic too.
Okay,
thank you
you
very
ค
much.
รับ สวัสดีครับ And that's all for Voice of the Nation today. Thank you for staying with us.